All right, welcome back to the Briones Pickleball Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Briones, and today we have a special episode. We have a special pickleball content creator on YouTube, and that is Chris Callie.
Yo, what up?
From very distinct voice, I would say, actually.
Oh, really?
Chris. I mean, does anyone tell you that, or?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Someone did say that to me yesterday. They were like, "I could tell you have a podcast by your voice," and I was like, "What does that mean?" I don't know. I guess so.
Well, at least to me, because I have watched a few of your like recaps and things like that. So it is very familiar to me, at least.
I guess that's good. All right.
Yeah, dude.
It's your voice.
So,
yeah.
But so if you don't know and you're not on YouTube, this is Chris from Sorry Not Sorry. Is it Sorry Not Sorry Pickleball or just Sorry Not Sorry?
Go whatever. Yeah, I guess Sorry Not Sorry Pickleball. There's a bunch of like Sorry Not Sorry stuff out there. Yeah. So yeah, I guess sometimes you need to specify. Yeah. It's the pickleball one. There's like a restaurant in LA that's called Sorry Not Sorry. So
wow. Cool.
Can't say it's the most original name, but
okay.
Yeah,
so what did you I guess, how did you come up with that name? And let's just tell the viewers and the listeners out there if they haven't heard of Sorry Not Sorry on YouTube, what can they expect? Like, what do you do?
Well, I guess as the name implies, Sorry Not Sorry, I kind of just like go all out and just really give my opinion, which sometimes I'm making fun of people or pointing out the cringy things that we see, out in the pickleball world and kind of unapologetically. But yeah, so basically what I've come to at this point is I recap all the PPA tournaments, most of the APP tournaments, all the MLP tournaments, and I'll kind of put it in, an hour or so and just really break down some of the highlights, some of the funny moments. And honestly, that's how it started. Like I would watch APP matches back in the day, when I was first getting into pickleball, and I would see these hilarious interviews with J.W. Johnson. And for those that don't know J.W. Johnson, he's like a very quiet and like monotone person. And there was just some of because they always do this post-game interview, and literally I would fast forward the game and go to all his interviews, and he would just say things. They'd be like, J-Dub, what do you like to do in your spare time? And he's like, I like to eat stuff and I like to drink stuff. And I'm just sitting there like dying laughing. I'm like, this is so funny that like you have this professional sport and none of these people are media trained, and it's so raw, it's so great and pure. And then you go to open play and you talk to people, you're like, hey, did you watch the matches? And they're like, there's pro pickleball, what? And I'm like, dude, yeah, it's great. And so I'm like, okay, I need to like kind of get the word out there that this thing exists, and it's fun to watch. So anyways, we're all spending time on the weekends playing, and these tournaments are like 8 hours a day for 4 days or whatever it is. It's like nobody has the time for that. I have the time for that because I'm a weirdo and I obsess over it. So I'll do all the heavy lifting and I'll give you a nice little package deal at the end and recap things. So
no, dude, that's really cool. I've actually enjoyed it watching, the few that I have watched. I am busy, but I have watched a few. Yeah, it's definitely entertaining. So
appreciate cool, that, man.
How about you? Because obviously this is, you said you have some family here in Arizona. Right. So we're here recording this, and I reached out to Chris. I don't know anything about you. I know we're meeting for the first time. So how did you get involved in just pickleball in general in the space? And then you kind of just talked about how you were just watching matches and getting into it. But how did you get involved, and like where are you with pickleball now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up in New Jersey, but then been living in California for like 7-8 years or something like that. I played pickleball like once in 2019 with family. I was like, that was cool. And then 2021 came around and I'm like, hey, we should go play that pickleball thing. And I brought my friends out. And the night before I was like, okay, I know there's like a bunch of weird rules with like kitchens and serves. I'm like, let me like go on YouTube and like look up the rules of this thing. And funny enough, like, sure, there was like some videos about the rules, but I stumbled across your channel when you had Primetime Pickleball. And dude, once I found out that they had that, like, I'm like, whoa, this Jordan Briones guy is awesome. He does like great videos. And literally, like, I would go play with friends. I'd be like, okay, I need to work on that third shot drop thing. And I would like watch a video of yours, and it's like, oh, I got to hold my paddle like this and do this type of thing.
You said what year?
This was like 2021, 22.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah. And so, but then on top of that, it was like, okay, the next step up is like, I want to see how the pros do this. And I remember I would just see like gold medal match, And I didn't know anything about pro pickleball, so I saw a gold medal match, and I thought that was like the Olympics. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like the gold medal match of the Olympics. Turns out it's just like a regular tournament,
Yeah.
So I would watch I think it was like Ben Johns versus Tyson McGuffin, singles final for like some random tournament. But I'll just sit there and like study how they play and like, just what kind of their moves are and fundamentals and stuff like that. And man, just went down the rabbit hole with all that. And then before I knew it, I'm playing all day and then going home and catching up on all the streams that went down. And man, it's just, I haven't looked back,
That's cool, man. That's awesome, dude. So what level are you now? Like, what do you play?
I would say 4-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
4-0.
Sometimes a 3-7-5 on a bad day.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. So perfect. So that makes sense. You watch all our videos trying to get better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's cool, man. Okay. All right. What do you decide? Like, how do you decide? You pretty much cover all of the tournaments right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of them, yeah.
All right. So
there'd be some times where if I'm doing something like APP's on this weekend, I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover this one just because I've been kind of busy. But, so I'm a human, so some weekends I got to take off. But for the most part, I try to do as many as I can. Yeah.
That's cool, man. So what do you, is this what you do full time or do you do?
Oh my gosh, I wish.
Like, no. What do you do?
I got a normal job. I'm in an office for 40 hours a week.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Thankfully, my boss is kind of like, leave me alone. So, on one screen I got my work, and then on another screen I got like all 4 streams for all 4 courts going, so I can keep an eye on things. But so thankfully I'm kind of set up for that because that helps. But yeah, like I'm just sitting in an office all day, just itching to get out, play some pickleball or, whatever it is. But yeah, unfortunately, got to pay the bills,
Yeah. Cool, man. So are you, is that your kind of end goal? Would you like to do it
Oh my gosh.
time? Is it just for fun or like what?
Yeah, I mean, it is for fun. Definitely the goal, sure, is to do it full time. I'm more than okay with, like, it's working now with working 40 hours a week. And then, I do spend kind of a lot, like it, it's like 20 hours of watching pickleball and then 8 hours of recording and then 4 hours of editing. That is a lot of time, but I mean, what else am I going to do in my life? You know what I mean? I still find time to play pickleball. I still find time to hang out with friends, my girlfriend. So, so long as, certain priorities don't get out of balance, then yeah, it's cool. But I mean, man, sometimes I think I'm like, if I had 40 hours of my life back and I could just focus on this full time, like what would be the possibilities? And yeah, so we'll get there maybe one day. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's cool, dude. So who's your like right now, who's your favorite player to watch? And yeah, who's your favorite player to watch? Because I know you watch everything, but just
favorite
to see
player.
Where you're at, yeah.
Favorite player, CJ Klinger. I love him so much. Yo, man.
I think I heard that on your last.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's so much fun. Because I mean, he's just like this awesome, innocent little kid. He's little is not really how you describe him. He's so like tall. He's a lefty. He's got power. He's got great hands. He's just like somebody that's easy to root for. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I enjoy watching him play, and I think it's cool to see him kind of slowly start to like come up now. So yeah, I'm definitely he's definitely one of my favorites, I would say.
Okay, cool. What about on the women's side?
Hurricane Tara Black.
Okay.
I like her. Yeah, I kind of know her a little bit. I actually got to play a rec match with her once.
Does she live there in SoCal?
No, I don't know where she lives. Might be in I don't know. I have no idea. But she was out at Los Cab for a tournament and played a little game together. And man, she whooped me. But I hit one shot, blew right by her, and I was like, "Let's go!" And so I just try to like only picture that part.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, she destroyed me. But it was fun. It was cool.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what's I don't know what's been the coolest thing so far since starting the YouTube channel? Like what's really cool and what's really challenging? You know what I mean? Like
yeah. I would say the most challenging thing is less time to play pickleball. Like before I did it, I was playing like 5 days a week, and now it's like 2 days a week.
Wow.
Which is fine. That's I'm okay with that. Although obviously the more pickleball the better, as we all know. The coolest thing is probably just like getting to meet all these people that I like enjoy watching play and like getting to talk. Like I remember one tournament I was hanging out with like Jimmy Miller and Zane Navratil, and we're all just like having a conversation, and you have a moment where you're just like, whoa, what is going on right now? Like I'm just talking to these people, and Zane is literally like roasting me
What did he say to you? Does he watch your stuff?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Yeah. Although he can't get my name right. He keeps calling me Cali Chris, so I start calling him Navartil Zane. So let's all just spam him and call him Navartil Zane from now on.
There you go.
But yeah, he said something about like it was back when he was on the Orlando Squeeze, and I forget what it was, but we said something about like, oh, can you hook us up with like squeeze shirts? And he's like, sure. He looks at Jimmy. He's like, I'll get you, what is that, like a 4XL? And he looks at me and he's like, I'll get you a kid small or something. Like, dang, dude, like roasted, my goodness. And it was just like, what is going on? I'm getting roasted by Navartil Zane over here. So, yeah. But that's been the coolest thing, is just getting to like meet some people that you're just like, whoa. Like I was just watching you on YouTube. Like you. Like I'm just like, whoa. Like I'm in Jordan Briones' backyard right now. Like there's a court. I see his videos, you know? And yeah, so it's cool stuff like that.
Cool, man. So what pros have you I guess like really high level top pros have you not met yet? Or have you met them all?
Have I not met yet? Let's see. I guess I technically did meet Ben Johns because I helped him out on like a stream that they did, but it was virtual. So I guess that kind of counts as meeting him. Who haven't I met that I would at least want to?
How did you
met like Riley or anything like that? Like,
but you're meeting all. I mean, you met all these people because you go to a lot of tournaments.
Yeah, whenever they're in the area, I'll go to them. Yeah, some of them like say hi to me. I'm like, you know me, and then sometimes like I'll just like say what up to them, you know. But yeah, so every now and then.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, so who's like the nicest, most down to earth pro that you're met, or who's your favorite pro that maybe surprised you, or that you just really like?
The one that I honestly, the one that I enjoy talking to, honestly the most, just because I like that personality type, is Leia Jansen. So people are gonna give me crap about that.
Oh, okay.
They think I'm too nice to her. They call me a Leia shill, and whatever. Like some people are like, I don't like her attitude. I think she's ruining the sport. I'm like, I love the attitude. Like bring more emotion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like get hype and like, okay, yeah, you're a little bit like angry and frustrated sometimes. I think that's good for it. Like who wants like a boring match, you know? Like we're not trying to watch like golf or anything. Like, you know, the best moments are when people are all fired up and stuff like that. And in the small conversations I've had with Leia, like it's just been like funny, you know, stuff that she said, and it's just more interesting.
Like she like joking or like
yeah, there's been like
sarcasm
funny,
or
definitely like sarcastic stuff that we that she's like said, and you know, just like poking fun at some things, you know, that we're seeing out there, you know. So there's that. I would say the nicest person is definitely Hurricane Tyra Black. She's definitely super nice. Yeah.
Cool, man. How about on the guy side?
On the guy side,
anyone that surprised you when you met him, or just anything, or just interesting, or
let's see. I mean, Zane was cool to talk to for a little bit. Like, I enjoy getting roasted. That's my love language. You know what I mean? Like you start roasting me, I'm like, all right, cool. All right. You know, it's a good sign. It's like, hey, you feel comfortable enough to like crack jokes at me. You know, that's a good sign.
Dude, you know how they do those roasts in comedy?
Yeah.
Like didn't Tom Brady just have one?
Yeah.
Dude, you should make a professional roast.
That's so funny you said that, because I literally...
Do you already plan one?
No, kind
of.
Dude,
you should invite all the top pros and have a roast session.
It's such a good idea. I put out a tweet. I was like, hey, what do we think about a roast idea? And Zane commented underneath, and he was like, dude, we tried this with the kitchen. It was the worst idea ever. So I was like, oh, all right, maybe. So dude, I think you got to get the right people. You know what I mean? I think you could do it. And you got to get the right person to roast.
I think it would be so easy to do.
I think we should do it.
The tank did. I would like to see that. Well,
or it was a kitchen.
Oh, the kitchen.
The kitchen did it.
Okay.
I think I forget who. It might have been with Zane that they did it with. But
that's probably why.
We should do something. Maybe we could do. Maybe not. Maybe we do someone like. Maybe we do Jimmy Miller. I think a lot of people would want to roast him. I think he could handle it.
Yeah.
Maybe we see if he'd be up for it. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe a player. Well, I don't know.
That's funny.
It'd be fun to do like someone kind of big, you know. But I don't know who'd be down for it.
Dude, I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Out of all the matches, shifting gears here, out of all the matches that you've watched, what's like the craziest thing that you've seen, you know, so far in pickleball?
The craziest thing that I've seen?
Like, you know, there's a lot going on, but like, I don't know, maybe in the past 12 months.
Well, okay, we'll push it right to the brim of 12 months. Literally a year ago from like this weekend, I think it was APP New York, where it was Will Sobek versus something Vucevic. I don't even remember his name. He literally...
Singles or...
It was singles, yeah.
Singles. Uh-huh.
And Will Sobek was down by like so much. I mean, I can't remember the exact number, but it was like 13-2 or something like that. Fought all the way back, and it was like the most like dramatic win. Like,
oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. Yes,
dude, that match was crazy, and it was crazy too because there was like planes flying over top, and they're like pausing because they're like, these planes are so loud they couldn't even play against it. And the court was like giving dead spots, so there was drama with that, and it was just a crazy match, man. It's funny because they're back in New York this weekend too.
Is it a PPA?
It's APP.
Oh, it's APP again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, it's the same one.
Same one.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. So like almost exactly a year ago. So I would say that was a crazy. Like I remember like screaming at my TV watching it live. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like
was that for the gold?
It was for the gold.
That
yeah,
was for the
gold. That's why it was so crazy.
Yeah,
it was like a huge comeback. Okay. So yeah, that was probably like that's the most memorable match definitely that I can remember.
What do you think is the best run tournament? Now you haven't been to them all, but just like from what you see, like I don't know, what's the best tournament to watch to you? To
watch like in person?
Well, maybe we go in person and then online.
I would say MLP is my favorite to watch in person, because and also this is MLP before they started doing what they're doing now, which is the regular season. Before they had like 4 courts going on all at the same time, which is cool for a fan because it's on YouTube, so you can pull up like 4 different streams at the same time and watch all of them. And then literally, I mean, even being there, like I remember standing in a spot where I'm looking this way, there's one match. I look this way, another. I look this way, another. And I look this way, another one. And you're just watching like 4. It's almost like overwhelming.
Wait, you're talking about that was live?
That was live.
Wait, where was that at? Which one?
This was at San Clemente.
Oh, San Clemente.
Yeah, you could kind of stand up on that back part and watch like all the matches at the same time.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I just think that that's cool. And honestly, just the format of MLP really lends itself to being there in person. Like that is so much more exciting.
So you prefer MLP over PPA?
1,000%.
Okay.
I think MLP is a future, and I get that it's not like the pure way of the sport, but I just think that like MLP is just really designed for pickleball to take off on like a bigger level. It's so much more exciting. I mean, just the team atmosphere concept. Yeah. I think rally scoring is great because there's no matches dragging on. The Dream Breakers. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful idea Dream Breaker is. You know what I mean? Like, just so much fun to watch. So I think for so many different reasons, MLP is superior.
Okay.
I enjoy like PPA too, and it's cool to just like really see people pick whoever they want as their teammate and traditional tournament style. But if it was my choice, I would say it should be like 80% MLP and 20% PPA style.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you this: who do you think? Now, could be a really easy answer, or maybe you have a different opinion. But who do you think is the best player in the world right now? And maybe we'll go women's and men's.
Yeah.
And what's your opinion?
I mean, how do you not say Ben and Anna-Leigh, right? Yeah. I mean, they're definitely the best. I know Fed was like number 1 for a little bit, but then you watch Fed play Ben, and it's like Ben is better than him. You know what I mean? Like there's just like
when they make it to the final together,
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Ben is definitely the best in the world. Would you disagree?
No, I was just wondering.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think you'd be silly to say anybody else, especially Anna-Leigh too on the women's side. Like, there was a chance there maybe where you went, maybe Anna Bright could be the number 1, but I don't know. I think that there's just like, I think Anna-Leigh is in a whole different tier, of player.
I would say the gap between Anna-Leigh and everyone else is bigger than Ben's.
Yeah.
And everyone else.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So
I think Anna-Leigh will be the number 1 until she retires. I could see Ben
until she retires.
1,000%.
That's a tall task.
I think she'll just keep growing with the competition.
Okay.
I could see Ben kind of like really being like he'll always be like top 5, I would say, but I could see people catching up to him. I think we're already kind of starting to see it, because he's not exactly like. I mean, I guess he's the best at singles, right? But like. I don't know. I guess when it comes to like men's doubles, like they're getting beat. You know, they're getting beat by like Andre and Gabe Tardio. They did get beat once by J-Dub and Dylan, although it was because Collin hurt his ankle. Whatever. I mean, maybe he did, and I get it, but I don't know. I think people unnecessarily put an asterisk on that one. But anyways, I think that they're showing that they can be beat.
Yeah.
They just got beat by Fed and Matt Wright, you know.
Yeah.
So people are figuring them out. And I do think soon Ben is going to probably make a transition away from Collin. That's probably a tough conversation to have with him.
Yeah, that was my next question.
I think they're going to wait. I mean, it's so funny because like now that it's happening, they're now on the same MLP team, you know? So it's kind of like, oh, this is awkward, you know? Like I got to still play with you even if I like don't play with you.
What did you say that you think they're having that conversation?
No, I don't think they're having it. I'm just saying like if he did have that conversation, it's weird now because they're on the same MLP
All right.
team.
So lineup wise, if and I've thought about this, but like if Collin, let's say if Collin was getting dropped and Ben made that decision, who's the 1, 2, and 3 that would be the best for Ben, in your opinion? Because you watch a lot of matches.
Yeah. I think James Ignatowicz has the potential. He's just inconsistent. But I think imagine him working with Ben like a little bit more regularly. Mm-hmm. I think that he would end up like being really good. I think him and Matt Wright are great together too. Obviously, Riley Newman would be fantastic. You know, how could that not be like the top team? So I would say probably that. My heart wants to say J-Dub in there.
But no, because J-Dub cannot. So. J-Dub can't play he doesn't play the right.
He doesn't.
They're both left sides.
Yeah. So I don't know. But Riley could play the right. He's fine on the right.
Yeah.
Because he's got a good backhand in the middle.
He is, but the outside shot is what I would have worried about there. I don't know. It's really interesting.
What would you say?
Well, the whole lefty thing, you know, Ben John said, you know, the best team eventually is going to be a lefty-righty team.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about that. And, you know, if I were to, I would honestly like to see Ben play with Augie.
That would be crazy.
I think that would be a really, really great team.
Yeah.
Augie is still getting better.
Yeah.
And he's rised the ranks really quickly. I think players like, I don't know, man, the best right side players. So like Dylan Frazier would be a great player.
That would be good, yeah.
Great partner. Thomas Wilson, dude, I don't know, man. There's so many good right side players, but
yeah,
those would be ones that I would. Yeah, obviously Ignatowicz and him. Yeah, Federico, but he's a left side player. Right. So
I'm trying to think of it as like, okay, like if Ben and Augie play like Ben and Riley, if you just like, you know, mental experiment.
Oh yeah, I've had this conversation. I've had these conversations. Put Ben in someone and Ben in someone else.
Yeah, like who would win that? And I mean, how do you not take Riley and Ben in that? You know, even though like Augie's a lefty, but then you know it's like
I don't think it's that clear and dry or
really
no way.
You think just the advantage too of being a lefty is big?
Riley has a lot of strengths, and I think Augie. I mean, they different game styles, man.
Yeah.
So I think the matchup could be way different. How Riley would play with Ben is different, way different than how Augie would play with Ben.
Because Ben would be. I mean, he's gonna be the one taking most of the balls.
And here's the thing where I think the righty and lefty is a lot different, because with any right and right side, basically with two right-handed players, I mean, typically that left side player will take more balls in the middle. Right. But if you have a left side player that's also really strong with a good forehand, I mean, that changes that dynamic a little bit. Let's say Augie so if Collin is taking about 20% or 30% of balls in the middle, if Augie's taking 40 or closer to 50% in the middle, that changes like the angles, that changes like the different speed ups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when Ben's coming over on the right, towards the right side, his speed ups, everything is going to look very similar. But when you have Augie doing that on the other side, basically here's a mental thought. What if you had two Bens, one lefty and one righty? Yeah. So when you think about it that way, the left side player could actually do damage from the middle, and the dink patterns would be different.
Yeah.
Really, really high level thinking, but
no, I'm with you.
I'm just saying that like let's just say, for example,
lefty's a huge advantage.
So I don't know, it'd be interesting, man.
But then it's like, if you did like a 10 game series or like a 11 game series, like something crazy where you just played a ton of games together, it's like, then do you start picking up the patterns, and then you figure it out, like who's better at adapting? So I don't know. I mean, obviously we'll never find out the answer, but it would be interesting to see if Ben and Collin do split up, who would he choose,
Yeah.
Because then chemistry comes in too. Like if you don't like somebody, you don't like them. Doesn't matter how good they are.
said coming up, right? He's playing with Ignatowicz for some reason.
Yeah, Ben is going to be playing with James Ignatowicz in PPA Sacramento.
Okay.
That's going to be wild.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder who's, I guess J-Dub, Dylan, are those the teams that are going to be in there?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I haven't heard otherwise. I would imagine that they're going to be playing together, yeah. So most likely they'll be in the finals together, and that'll be fun to watch.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
awesome, dude. Well, really quick, I want to pull this up just for the viewers. Thanks for coming on, Chris. Here's if you guys haven't checked out his YouTube channel, go check it out here. Here it is. Sorry, not sorry. He does a lot of recaps and things like that. Oh, there's a scooter review I've been looking at.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So how many videos do you have like right now?
Shoot, I don't know.
170, man.
Is it?
Are you on a weekly schedule, or how do you post?
Right? Yeah. I mean, I try to drop the episode on Tuesday every week. So so I'll record Sunday, edit Monday, drop it Tuesday. Every now and then I got to drop it Wednesday if it's kind of taking a little bit longer. But yeah, I try to do it after each weekend. I just started doing clips now. I just did a clip of the. Did you hear about that match with Leia and Coop and all that?
No, double? No.
Oh my gosh!
No, so what happened?
Nuts. Well, they started playing outdoors, right? And bunch of drama with like line calls, and Coop was like serving like too high because now the PPA has different serve rules, and Coop literally got called twice faults for serving too high. Like they gave her a warning, and then they got her twice on faults. They literally Leia challenged one of her serves.
Oh my God.
And they were like, yep, that was too high. We missed it. All right, fault, So it's like building up. Starts raining. They got to go inside.
What tournament was this?
This was last weekend. And it was in Atlanta.
Okay.
So it started raining. They go inside. When they go inside, there's no challenges. So now you lose all your challenges.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, dude, there were so many close line calls. And literally at the end of the game, I forget what the score was, but it was like a 1-point game. Leia hits a ball right on the back line, and they called it out. And it was like,
and she was,
dude,
she was pissed.
Oh, she was so mad. And I don't blame her. You look at the replay, you're like, I think that's in. I mean, we get freaking like 20 frames per second, and it's like all grainy.
20,
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh, what do you think about the quality and the PPA?
Oh my gosh, man. Well, here's the thing. So I do a segment now called Hooks of the Week, which have you seen that? Yeah. So
Hooks of the Week.
It's crazy, dude. So turns out there's a lot of people hooking out there. And it's actually been crazy because people just hit me up all weekend long. They're like, dude, this match at this time, this guy got hooked. Blah, 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 blah.
That's cool.
I have players reaching out to me like, I got hooked so bad. You got to call this person out.
That's like unlimited content. That's great, dude.
I'm like, let's go. And so actually there's a company called Close Call Replay that sponsors it now. And so Close Call Replay, they have cameras that do 240 frames per second.
Wait. So they sponsor what?
My segment, Hooks of the Week.
But they're not helping in the replay because they're not. What are they?
So they want to get their name out there.
They want to get.
They want to be like, we are the solution.
There you go.
Yeah. But dude, here's the thing. They offered to do the production for Beer City Open, which is coming up.
And they denied it?
They said no. They said we do it for free. They said no.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man. They have a solution. Like, all right, if you don't want to pay them, at least do the one where they said they'll do it for free.
Yeah.
And they said, nah. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if they have a deal with Pickleball TV where they're like, hey, you have to use our production company.
Because it's so, I get so many comments. It's funny because I post a lot of match play footage on my channel with 3 angles and stuff. And every time I get an editor and stuff, but every time I post a video, it's like, wow, this is so much better than PPA. And I'm like, all I'm doing is like using these cameras right here. You know what I mean? It's like,
it's crazy, dude. It's so nuts. They got the awesome camera in the center of the court. They got it on the crane and it moves and you're like, ooh, they're so good and fancy. And then down the line, they challenge something and you're like, can anybody tell what's going on here? Like, they're just like, it's just nuts, man. And so you just see so many people complaining about it. They're all like, I can't watch this. This is a joke. How does anybody take it seriously? And it's like, I agree. And then now they're like, well, how the heck are you going to gamble on this sport? You know what I mean? If you got this issue in the way.
Yeah, they need to for sure figure that out.
Yeah, it seems like a no-brainer too. It seems like a very easy way to really just like settle a lot of disputes. You know, there's just like some unnecessary like drama that's going down with it. I mean, dude, you got Leia Jansen playing in her bronze medal match. They brought line refs out, and they overturned her call 4 times in the first, like, 3 points. The score is, like, 3-0. She has 4 different calls overturned.
The refs overturned it.
Yeah.
Wait, so let's say she's hitting a ball, or the
So Salome Davice would hit it to her. Okay. She'd be like, that's out. The ref goes, they go, hey, ref, what do you think? They're like, that was in.
Wow.
Like, 4 times, and the score is just, like, 3-0. Like, so think about how
there's no line call? I mean, there was no video? Analysis?
No, they had no challenge. They just had like the extra line refs there that you can technically, you could call them in whenever you want.
That's even worse than the really grainy video. Just actual line people calling lines, dude. That's even less reliable.
They get it so bad. It's crazy. The APP tried to do that where they would have on the gold medal matches where they would have all the extra refs, and dude, they walk out like a squad, like they're the mafia. They're like, yeah, we're gonna call these, like we're gonna crush it. And then you see all these calls, and you're like, they got that wrong. They got that one wrong. They got that one wrong. And it's like, dude, just let the players call it at this point. Like, that would be much better. APP is good because they do unlimited challenges now. And they have better angles. So it's a little bit easier to see it. But, man, yeah, line refs are not good. And, dude, I mean, you know, and people are like, well, do the players really mean to, like, hook people or cheat? You know, do they really mean to call it wrong? And you literally have Salome Davice on record. She was interviewed right after her bronze medal match. She goes, I've had 2 times. First off, this is what she's saying. Is she's like, I've had 2 times in my career where I have actually hooked on someone, where I knew that it was in, and I called it out on purpose.
Wait, what interview is this, dude?
This was so crazy. I was reviewing matches for my last episode, and I'm scrolling through. I was looking for the bronze men's doubles match, and it was when they're warming up. Rob Cassidy is interviewing Salome right after her bronze medal match. Dude. And he's like, they're talking about hooking and stuff. And she's like, well, you know, to be honest, I have had 2 times in my life where I have done this and I cheated somebody out of a call. And you just see her like kind of pause, and she's just like, oh shoot, why did I say that?
No way.
Yeah. And dude, nobody noticed it because it's in the middle of a warm up for a bronze medal match. Everybody's watching gold medal.
No one memes a pick on. No one posted it.
Nobody saw it. I caught it and I put it on hooks of the week. I'm like, dude, listen. I'm like, because Salome had a bad hook against Caitlin Christian. Yeah. Caitlin Christian had a game point, I think it was, and she called the ball out that was clearly in, and I'm like, well, if you think that Salome Davice would hook or not, like, check this out. I played her interview. She's like, there's only 2 times. I'm like, oh, yeah, it was one of those times against Caitlin Christian in the round of 16 earlier this weekend, you know?
Wow.
You know, and think about it. If somebody's saying that,
I'm surprised
more than 2.
I'm surprised she said that,
That's
bro.
what I'm saying.
Wow.
It's wild. Hey, props to her for being honest, I guess, you know? But, geez, so it does happen. People do it. And, you know, I know you want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know.
Okay, I got something for you.
Yeah.
Does a guy commenting as maybe his screen name is different when he leaves you comments on YouTube and stuff, but name Rick will ring a bell?
Rick, no.
Or no? He says he's commented. Okay, all right.
Maybe.
Anyways, okay. So anyways, this is so I do these 2-day intensives, right? And just really quick, I do a call with people, and you know, I kind of get their goals and what they want to work on, things like that. So here's my call, and I just took a screenshot. Let's see if I could pull this out. I took a screenshot of him.
Oh, let's go! Yeah. Shout out to Rick.
Yeah, so
fresh shirt, dude.
So Rick, he says he loves your podcast, your whatever, your YouTube. I don't know. Would you call it a podcast?
Dude, that's the debate, man. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Video cast.
Yeah, there you go.
A show.
He loves your show, and it's funny because, anyways, we're doing our pre-intensive call, and that's him. So he had 2 questions for you.
Oh, cool.
I wrote them down. The first one is, he wanted to know, are you 3.5 at best?
Maybe 3.75 at best.
Okay.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's what. And then because and then the next one, he says, I didn't tell him this. He said, When are you gonna up your game and join a 2-day intensive?
Oh, there you go. I might have to make the move. Yeah, next time I'm in Arizona, I think I might sign up for one. I could use it.
No, but no.
I think I know who he is now. I know who Rick is. He always messages me on Instagram and comments on something. Now I know who he is. Yeah.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
No, I just thought that was funny because I just had the call with him like this past week.
Yeah. And you're like, oh well, guess what?
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so line calls. Let's see. Let's talk about, dude. And you said, I have a few things down here, but let's talk about like serving, and some people who it's like miss serves.
The yips.
So, dude, I actually did see this from your wrap up, I think. And I was just like, fast forwarding. So I was like, no way is he missing.
You see that number go up?
More than one, more than two.
Like 20 something.
So Connor Garnett, shout out to you, Connor. He's been on our channel actually, and really cool guy. And I actually got to play some games with him pre whatever tournament that was. MLP.
Oh, right. Yeah. So
right, because is that when it started, right?
No, that wasn't when it started. It started like
okay.
It started back in Los Cab when PPA was at Los Cab.
Okay.
He was starting to struggle with it. Yeah. It
Anyway,
wasn't as bad as him.
Okay. So anyways, we have some videos on YouTube with me playing with Connor and Augie, and we have some really cool match play. You can watch that. Yeah. But he didn't have any problems. There was no missed serves, nothing. So what are your thoughts on that? I mean, I'll give you mine, but what are your thoughts on that? And so it started what tournament?
So it started in Los Cab. He had some rough games. And then I think it was even like, I think in the semifinal match he was struggling in singles. And then literally in his gold, so he won the gold medal in singles that weekend.
Wait, who was bronze and who was silver?
Shoot, I don't remember who it was. He played Fed. He played Fed in the gold medal match. So Fed got silver.
Fed?
He beat Fed.
See,
but he didn't.
How?
Yeah, well, he didn't struggle with it that bad in the gold medal match. I think he may have had. Oh, this is what happened. So it was like
because singles you cannot win with missed serves.
Right, and but he was blowing Fed away so much, so he was able to get a cushion. Literally on, I think it was like 10-3.
Yeah.
To like win the match,
Got it.
he calls a timeout on his serve because he knows that he's struggling.
Wow.
So he calls a timeout, and I'm literally there, and I'm like, I know he's got a big lead, but that might not be a good move. You don't call a timeout when you got the serve and the momentum.
Did you even know at that point that that's what it was?
Yeah,
for
sure.
Did.
Yeah,
because you were following that tournament up until then.
Yeah, the semifinal match he was struggling. He had a few times, and then literally he comes back from the timeout, misses the serve.
Wow.
And it was like, uh-oh. But then he closed out the game, so he did it. The next weekend, I think it was in Red Rock, struggling again. I think that was where he played with Alex Trong.
Okay.
And he had a ton of missed serves.
Wow. See, I didn't follow Red Rock, but
yeah,
okay.
He was starting to get bad. And then when he came into MLP, I think he was just so in his head.
Dude.
Playing with Riley too. That's like got to add a little bit of pressure.
I don't think.
You don't think it's pressure?
No, because he's played with Riley. I mean, we've played practice games here.
Yeah.
He's played with Riley. But so how many missed serves was it in MLP?
It was like 20 something.
In 3 games or in one?
No, that was like
match?
in a whole. That was like in a whole weekend of. I think he played like four matches, which means he's playing like 2 in each one. So 2, 4, 6, 8 maybe.
Man.
So that's like an average of 3 per game.
Yeah.
And that's MLP where it's rally. They get a point. That's bad.
I know. So for those of you who may have had the yips before, or
I have.
You can't make your serve for whatever reason. It happens at the highest level. I can say that now.
Yeah. 1000%.
So it's crazy, man, because I was looking at some of the. It was hard to watch, bro.
It is.
It was hard to watch.
You're like rooting for him. You're like, come on.
No, but that's why, because you're a funny guy on your channel. That's why I was like, I think. I wasn't sure if you're like, it's hard to like, if you were like trying to like laugh and joke about it, or if you're like serious and like, oh shoot, I feel really bad.
A little bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's crazy, man, because the serving, and I was looking, so as a coach, and I was looking at technique, I'm trying to look at if I find something. One of the things that was really interesting to me and that I noticed was he wasn't taking any pace off of his serve.
Yeah.
Which was really interesting to me.
Yeah.
which actually in reality, like when I'm telling people or teaching players dealing with that kind of thing, you don't want to be like altering your serve like crazy much, because that's when you start missing. But
you start thinking too much about
yes, exactly. So I think he was doing the right thing. I mean, he was going for a serve, but dude, it was like sometimes 3 feet left.
You didn't even see where it
10
landed.
feet out, 7 feet to the right. So I'm just saying, if that were me, dude, I'd go backhand serve, or I'd do something, at least, especially MLP, I would do something way different.
Gotta change it up.
But I think that he was just trying to overcome that and say, no, I'm going to. So I don't know. I would like to get him and talk to him, but man, it must be tough, dude.
Yeah, sure, it's tough to talk about. I went down a huge rabbit hole when I had the yips. Literally, I show up to open play one morning, and I play a game. Literally, out of 2 games that I played, I hit 2 serves in bounds. It was so embarrassing. I had my tail tucked between my legs, and I left after 2 games. It was literally like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm already done. And I sat in my car for about an hour and a half, and I just went down the rabbit hole of yips. And dude, it turns out there's like MLP players, MLB, like baseball players, golf players that are at the pro level that have literally had their careers ended because they couldn't figure out the yips.
Dude, so I get it in golf. You like totally can't swing or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
How is it in
baseball?
In baseball,
it's with pitching.
Yeah,
they'll just throw it like in the dirt.
Wow,
it's crazy. Yeah. The thing that they realized though is they did a study on this, and it turns out that there's a common thread through everybody that has the yips, and the common thread is that you have a people pleaser personality.
Wow.
So it's something about the people around you and you wanting to like kind of please them subconsciously or something that enables that. And the thing is, it does something like neurologically where basically it actually does something to your forearm. So that's why when you see people in golf, they like hook it, or when they're throwing a baseball, they like kind of hook it down and it goes like down in the dirt. The problem is you try to overcompensate it for when you're doing, so then you like aim higher, but then that's why you see like Connor Garnett hitting balls like way up high, because he's like kind of trying to like fix that like hook with what's going on. They literally have surgery where they'll go in and they'll do something to your forearm muscle, so that way it's not like quite connected to your brain.
Oh my gosh, so
and it'll
cut it
it'll
off.
Cure you of the yips. It doesn't work for everybody. It's super expensive and it's risky as anything. So it's not really the best idea, but there are people that have invested thousands of dollars into trying to fix the yips. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I mean, the solution that I've heard from a lot of people, at least in pickleball, is do the backhand serve. Like just do the drop backhand.
Or you know what?
Just get it in.
Even if I didn't have the backhand, I'm just saying, man, if that was me at the highest level, I'd at least serve lefty, bro. So like Jack Monroe.
Yeah, ambidextrous.
Right? Yeah, I'd freaking learn how to. I mean, all you need is like a 3-5 serve.
Right.
You know, just get the ball in for crying out loud.
Better than not, yeah.
So I'd serve left-handed and freaking just go right.
That's a good solution.
Because it's crazy too, because with Connor, and it's just all psychological, because soon it was so interesting to watch, because serve after serve, and then let's say you luckily whatever got you know when he got a serve in, you're watching, you're
yes.
like, yeah, and then he freaking rips a perfect drive.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So it's not.
You're like, he's a killer player.
And what I tell players, like that serve and drive motion is exactly the same. So it has nothing to do, like mechanically.
Right.
It's not anything to do with his swing, because he has a freaking, he has a 5.5, 6.0 forehand. You know, his backhand's better.
Right.
But he still has a great forehand. Yeah. So it's just nuts, dude.
Yeah.
It's just nuts.
I mean, I hope he does something, because I don't want to see him. He still struggled the last weekend too at BPA. Literally, there's like a clip.
Is it getting better, dude, or is it?
I don't
Bro,
know.
Like how many serves is he missing?
I don't know how many he missed in PPA, but it got so bad to the point where, so him and Elise Jones were playing mixed against Federico Stackstrud and Rachel Rohrbacher, and they had on their coach Johnny Goldberg was their coach.
Who's coach?
Fed and Rachel.
Oh.
And Johnny Goldberg was
coaching?
Yeah. And every time Connor missed a serve, he would count the number. He'd be like, that's 2.
No.
That's 3. Dude, they got so mad. Elise Jones and Vivian David were yelling at him after, like, I'm just so disappointed in you. Why would you do that to him? Blah, 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 blah. And there's like a clip of it, and it's wild. You're like, dang, dude, that's messed up.
Crazy.
Yeah. I'm just sitting there like, I did have a counter on my episode literally ticking up. And so I don't know. I'm kind of guilty of the same thing. At least I wasn't in his face doing it, but yeah, it's wild, man. Now people are like seeing like like, hey, you could really get into his head with it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, that's the worst. That's the thing.
Somebody keeping reminding you about
it. It's just that it is all psychological.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough.
It's tough as a teammate too. It's like, what do you do? I have to give Riley Newman credit. A lot of people say with Riley Newman, oh, he's not a good teammate. He kind of like gives people the side eye.
He did a pretty good job.
He did a great job. He was saying things to Connor, cheering him on. He's like, hey, I literally heard one time, he's like, hey, stay positive, Connor, stay positive. You got this. Yeah. After a missed serve, and you're like, okay, all right, Riley, I see you trying to be like supportive and a good teammate. So, I think he needs at least stuff like that at a minimum. Clearly, it didn't help. Wow. But, that was at least kind of nice to see, is that they're not like getting on him or mad at him for it. They just know like, oh, this is like a mental block you got,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's working with somebody, man. That's tough.
I hope so.
That's tough. All right. So hopping in the next one, Gen 3 paddles.
Yeah.
Now you obviously, you're reviewing a lot of pro stuff, pro matches and stuff. Amateur level, it doesn't really matter. It kind of affects a lot of people. What's the new news? What have you heard? PPA wise, MLP wise, and where do you think it's gonna go?
Well, so I got to clear up something I did on my last episode. I kind of misspoke. I didn't explain it well. I kind of got it wrong. But basically, what happened was they removed the Gen 3 paddles, which for those that don't know, they're like the most powerful, the most gritty. So it is like the craziest weapon you could have on the court right now. And literally, like at Los Cab a few PPA tournaments ago, I think it was like 1 in 6 paddles were getting passed. Like they were failing at such a high rate. So they are like so close to the edge of what's allowable, right? So then recently, because a lot of people have complaining about how powerful they are, that's not why. So, but the thing was, the USA Pickleball Association removed that from their list of approved paddles. The whole thing was that there was some error that got made. Yola sent in like the wrong paddles or something like that. It was like an administrative error is what they called it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, that sounds like BS, but whatever. The thing is, the PPA can just say, well, we're going to allow you to play with it. So you're fine. Who cares if it's not approved by USA Pickleball? So it seems like there's kind of a war with the governing body of pickleball going on with that. So I don't know what kind of funny business is going on there. But I think a lot of people are happy about that because it's like, dude, this paddle is crazy. I played against one and literally I was like, whoa, these are rockets coming at me. I mean, Zane Navratil, or Navratil Zane as I call him, he tweeted that he was getting hit in the head. I actually saw the clip. It's on
oh wow,
Wang Duong. I got to pronounce that right. Wang Duong. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's on his Instagram. You could see the clip where I think it was Chuck Taylor ripped a speed up right at Zane's face, and you're just like, dude, like.
Where did it hit Zane? And where?
It hit him in the head, kind of like right here, I think. It's hard to tell. It's kind of far away, but he got so upset he threw his paddle at the ground because he was like frustrated with it.
Oh my!
I got players reaching out to me, that are like, dude, these are cheater paddles. Like, this is crazy. And at the same time, they're like, but if you can't beat them, join them. So I'm going to go get one myself, and it's like, hey, I get it. It's like an arms race, you kind of got to keep up with what's going on. And
well, yeah, fairness is the biggest thing. It's
right.
Like, and that's why, that's my philosophy. It's like people ask me, and do I think it's too powerful? I mean, probably it's really powerful, but either everyone plays with it or we lower it and then no one plays with it. But yeah, obviously if somebody has it and someone doesn't, then that's tough.
Yeah. It's also weird the way that they test these paddles now, because I could be wrong about this. So disclaimer, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they only test it now before they play for the day. And then you're good with your paddle for the rest of the day, which we all know that paddles get delaminated fairly quickly, especially at the pro level, especially with these paddles. So then now it's already a rocket without it getting delaminated. And when it gets delaminated, it's like so much faster. So it's kind of like you can't challenge paddles anymore. In the PPA, you used to be able to say, I think that paddle's delaminated. And they'll be like, okay, we'll go test it afterwards. And then sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't. Yeah. Now they're just like, sorry, you can't test it. We approved it this morning, so it's good to go forever. And it's like, okay, literally, I could just get it approved, go to my car, get a lacrosse ball, and just keep hitting it up, and delam this thing up. And then now I got a rocket, so.
Yeah.
I think it's just, I keep hearing the story about racquetball. Racquetball was a great sport. People were into it, but then they kept improving these rackets. And they're so quick now that these rallies last like 3 shots and then it's over because they're just so quick. And then it ruined the sport because nobody wants to play. It's not fun. The fun part is all these rallies, right? So to me, I'm like, I would love to have the power dialed back. I don't care so much about the grit. I think more spin is kind of cool. That's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think that there's.
No, you know what?
You know what I mean? I don't think
right.
that's like that big of a deal.
I haven't thought about the differences and contrasts between those, but yeah, more power affects the game, I think, a lot more than more spin.
1,000%.
Yeah, dude.
And it just makes it very quick rallies, I mean, you kind of look back, you're like, wow, we've had way less cool hands battles at the pro level this year since the paddles have gotten like way quicker. Like, dude, remember like last year it was like carbon and what is it? The double black diamond were like the fast paddles and everybody's like, this is too quick. And then now you're like, that ain't nothing.
Dude, that's what's crazy. Like those paddles are considered kind of on the control side now.
That's nuts. That's nuts. Yeah. So
that's crazy.
But it's also like, what are you going to do? You're going to tell this company like, hey, I know you just made this awesome paddle that a ton of people are buying and using, but you can't do that anymore,
Yeah.
Los Cap, the place by me, they banned the yellow paddles. They said you're not allowed to play here with those Gen 3 paddles.
Just for rec?
Just for rec.
No way. What is this? A private club like that you pay?
Yeah, it's a club. Yeah, it's a private place.
They ban paddles?
They ban paddles. They ban the yellow, the Gen 3 paddles. Yeah, because they're like, this is just not fair. We're not going to allow this. Wow. Which is crazy because they sold it out of their pro shop. So they're like, hey, counting their money. They're like, yeah, you can't use that anymore. You want to buy another paddle while you're here?
Gosh.
Yeah, it's kind of wild, but I don't know, man. I get it, though. I think something's got to be done. You can't go any higher than this. You go higher than this, and it's just like,
yeah,
you're gonna have like these 3-4 shot rallies, and it's just putaways. Nobody can handle it.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
All right, so APP, I know you do a lot of. I think that's a cool thing too about what you do. You do review MLP and PPA, but you still do APP too. So So what do we got coming up? Or what's coming up with the APP tour? You mentioned there's a few new things.
Well, because the thing is, clearly, I mean, anybody who watches PPA and APP, you quickly realize that the gap between PPA and APP is pretty severe. You see these top APP
when you're
players.
talking about players and you're talking about video quality. Pretty severe.
I mean, I guess a little bit of both. Yeah. I'll give APP
the opposite way.
Yeah. APP is definitely better with the challenges. Some of their other angles, I'll say, aren't the best, but the thing is with APP, like their players, I mean, who's their top players, right? It's like Simone, Paris, Hunter Johnson, Andre Diescu, and really the only one that's been able to hang in the PPA at a high level has been Andre. I'll give Paris some credit. She did pretty good in singles this last weekend. She got the silver against Anna Lee, and she almost won gold.
Dude, that's really good.
That's great. Yeah. So Paris has her moments for sure. Doubles, she's not so good. But it's just that PPA is just better players, so whatever. But then it puts the APP in a position where they're like, okay, well, what do we do to kind of like get eyes on us, and make us a little bit better? And one of the things they're doing this weekend is this like shuffle thing. So instead of having all the gold matches on Sunday, they're going to play the gold medal matches day of the tournament. And then they save Sunday for this like special type of match. I don't know exactly how it works, but the concept overall is that they're going to shuffle players around with different partners, which I think is a great idea because.
So it's just kind of like, one day of MLP, but like maybe draw out of a.
Yeah, but they keep shuffling. So it's different teams the whole time.
So it's maybe a round robin.
Exactly.
It is a round robin.
Exactly. It's very close to that.
Does the winner with the most points win?
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know exactly the rules and how that all works, but I mean, regardless, who knows? There's probably some different ways they could do that. The concept of them switching up the partners, I think, is such a good idea because that's what people want to see. I see so many people.
Even if there was one tournament that did that, dude, like just specifically, like
just switch it up,
like whatever, like an all-star game, dude.
Right.
Like NBA All-Stars or whatever. Dude, that would be tight.
Why do people like MLP so much? One of the reasons is because you get to see these players play with different people. Anna Lee Waters playing with Will Howells and Mari Humberg. When would you ever see that? Never, I mean, you got Ben Johns playing with Tyler Loong, or whoever it is. You got all these different, like, matchups and teammates, and it's so fun to watch, and you see how some of them work and some of them don't work, and you really start to find out, like, okay, who is the good player in this? Who is the better player here? So I think it's an awesome concept, and I just love that the APP is, like, saying, all right, we got to do something here. Like, what do we do? What do the people want? Oh, they want like different matchups. They want different partnerships. All right, here, let's do this, know? So I'm excited to see how it turns out. It's going to be happening tomorrow. So we'll see.
Oh, so it starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes. Tomorrow will be that day.
Cool, man. I mean, those are the main things I had to cover, man. Anything else you got going on?
Not much. Just gonna keep pushing out some episodes. I'm so excited for MLP this year. I think it's so cool they're doing regular season. Like, I don't think people realize this, but we are about to, in November, we are going to have the most intense, the biggest pickleball match of all time.
Wait, what do you mean?
Because it's the MLP that's doing the regular season format that all leads into this year-end playoff. So in the past...
They didn't do that last year?
They did like a super final thing.
Yeah, it was a super final.
But it was a little bit different because then it was like kind of a weird format. It was like, well, based off total points and, they had all these like little tournaments in between kind of things. So it was a little bit different. But this, it's like all this buildup. You've been riding with this team all year long, Nice. And then finally you get to the end and it's playoff time. We finally have a Super Bowl of pickleball.
So when does that start, and when is the championship for the MLP?
Well, so we just had the first regular season event,
and there's 6 events, right, or something?
No, there's like there's a ton. I think that there's more than 10.
There's more than 10.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. And so they're just gonna play all year, and everybody's like, oh, it feels weird because there's no like champion at the end. It's just like you play your games and then that's it. But the thing is, like...
That's what happens with other sports.
That's what happens with other sports. And it's going to literally, like I said, have a Super Bowl of pickleball. And one of the biggest problems that pickleball has right now is getting the eyes from the rec level to the pro level. A lot of people are like, it's confusing, it's convoluted, I don't know how it works. People know how a Super Bowl works. Mm-hmm. You got one game, and this is it. It all came down to this. You got a team. People get that. It's familiar to them.
Yeah.
It's, you watch the Super Bowl, I bet, every year. You don't even know the team. I don't know. Like, I watch the Super Bowl. I don't really pay attention to football anymore, but I'll watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Am I going to watch the NBA Finals? Probably not. Why? Because there's, like, at least 4 games. And I'm not going to watch, 4 games. Maybe I'll watch a Game 7, right? So when it comes to basketball, baseball, hockey, and those, like, year-end championships, you kind of watch it. Definitely watch if you're a fan. If you're not really a fan, you might go to, like, a party or something. Maybe. But everybody watches the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it's because it's one game, and it all comes down to that. Everybody gets that. So we finally have that with pickleball. So I really think that when it comes down to November and we have this big championship match, everybody's going to be down to watch it because you're going to be at Rec Play like, yo, you guys watching the MLP final? The MLP final is coming up. You guys going to watch?
What are they coining it? What are they naming it? Just MLP Championship or?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything weird about any like weird name.
Did they say where it's at yet?
Yeah, it's in Orlando.
I
want to go because I'm like, this is literally going to be the biggest match of all time.
Wow.
What other match have you ever heard of that has the stakes this big? It's always just like, okay, Nationals or the US Open. It's like, okay, I get it has like some prestige to it, but that's just another tournament.
Yeah.
You just played that weekend. Yeah. This is like a year in the making to get to this point. So this is going to be huge for pickleball.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm excited too,
yeah,
man. It's going to be cool. I don't know if they'll have like a Vince Lombardi trophy. Are they going to call it the Steve Kuhn trophy? That may be kind of weird because of his exit, but I hope they do something cool like that. So
no, that's cool. Yep. So MLP, that's going to be exciting. Anything else you're looking for or looking out for?
No, I mean, the PPA finals are always kind of cool too. I think that's kind of like what you were saying with the All-Star game, but not really. I mean, you do draft your partner type of thing, but it ends up being the same partnerships, because you're stacking the same points together. So most likely you're making it to the PPA finals. But it was a cool format last year. I was like, okay, these are like the best of the best players and kind of like a round robin format in the beginning. So that was interesting. So I guess that's on the radar too to watch. But man, MLP has my full attention. I'm like, this is the future. Like, this is what we need. This is so cool. All these players on the same team for years to come, like there's going to be one player that gets cut on every team at the end of the year, which is cool in itself.
Is that how it is right now? Is it locked because they cannot change or cut right now?
They could trade. They can cut, and they'll get put on the waiver wire. I think after this next one, so they have one more weekend in Washington, and then after that you could cut, and then you could pick up anybody else that you want.
Okay.
So there might be some cuts.
Wow.
Yeah. So that'll be fun to see what kind of teams change or who gets traded and whatnot. But I like that they're doing that, man.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I think it's what people know. I think that's what people are familiar with. Like you get how a baseball or football team works. You got trades, you got a draft, you pick players up, you got a regular season, you got a playoffs, you got a championship at the end, and you got to build this stuff from the local level. Like, I want to root for the SoCal team, I know their Heart Eights are in the Challenger League. They're not the Premier League, but whatever. Or the LA Mad Drops, whatever. I kind of got a mock of the LA Mad Drops shirt right here.
Yeah, what does that say?
Santa Monica Mouth Breathers. It's kind of a long story, but I don't know if you know Odoth. Shout out to Koopy Nation. He's like a big YouTube commenter. He made this thing called the what it was called, the Wiffle Tennis League or something like that. And it was just like we all made like fake teams. So like he made a fake team, funny. I made a fake team, and this was my fake team, the Mouth Breathers. I actually wore this shirt to a tournament, and Ben Johns was staring at me, and he was looking at my shirt, and I'm like, oh gosh, he sees this, and he just kind of like, he mouth breathes and looked the other way, but it was a little bit awkward. But
wait, was it like, what is this guy wearing?
He didn't say anything, but you could just tell he was looking at it, looked down, and he was like, oh, that's a picture of me. Oh, does that say mouth breather?
Wait, that's Ben?
Yeah. Wait, it was supposed to be a mock of the LA Mad Drops logo, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
that's hilarious.
Mouth breather, but that's okay. We're all different, whatever works.
Cool, man.
But anyways, yeah, so it's going to be a fun year, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, yeah, I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
It was nice
Thank you so much for having me, man.
Get some time with you, man. And I don't know, where can, socials, where can people find you?
Yeah, definitely YouTube. Check out Sorry Not Sorry Pickleball. I do tournament recaps. Sometimes I'll just cut up a clip if you don't feel like watching a 45-minute to an hour-long video. That makes sense. Yeah. Every now and then I'll do like a live stream where I'll do I did a debate recently, an MLP debate. A lot of people like that. It was cool. I had Ben from Real Clear Stats come on. Told us a bunch of stuff that we were like, whoa, like you got stats on all this stuff? He's like, who is it? Tina Pisnik is #1 in resets. We're like, dude, you just sit there and you track reset numbers? Like, that's wild.
Wait a minute. So so you know how you go to the PPA website and they have those stats? Who's doing that?
Oh, I don't know who does that.
Okay, but this is another guy taking other stats?
He has a company called Real Clear Stats. And what he does is he documents all these statistics.
Is it free?
No, he kind of
access that?
No, he's got it and he sells it to MLP teams for them to have analytics.
Oh,
he puts out some posts sometimes where he gives you numbers.
Dude.
It's very interesting.
That's
actually
crazy,
and I gotta say,
bro.
Also check out Matty Pickles. He's doing a video right now that he's working on. He actually just told me about this. So he's doing an experiment. He has 3 5 players. They all play together, right? They do a match together. Then they add a pro to the mix. They have Jack Monroe coming in and playing against 3 5s, and they just see the difference in statistics. When it was he told me one number that blew my mind. Yeah. When it was the 3 5s playing together, they made it to the kitchen 90% of the times.
Wait,
or they made it to the kitchen
You mean 10% of the time?
No, 90% of the time they were able to get to the kitchen on the rally.
3 5s?
Yeah.
Those are not 3 5s.
Maybe they're a little bit better. Maybe they're hard on themselves.
You sure?
That was a statistic.
Okay, so go ahead.
But anyways, when they added Jack Monroe to the mix, the other team was only able to make it to the kitchen line 4% of the time. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Yeah. No, so playing against Jack Monroe. Yeah. Oh well then. Yeah. I think that 90 is definitely not right, but yeah. Well, we'll have to watch the video and see.
Okay, but yeah, that totally makes sense how it drops dramatically. Yeah. Of course.
I was laughing so hard. I'm like, dude, that's a crazy difference. But yeah, he just crushed it. So many people are like, well, is a pro player really that good? What's the difference between a pro and an amateur? Like, well, I think I could probably do it. It's like, no, you could not do that. Do you understand how good these players are? You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I just love that he's doing something to illustrate that. So that's cool, man. Anyways, to backtrack, Ben from Real Clear Stats, he participated in that. He did all those statistics and stuff. I did a debate with him and Jim Kloss, who's like the enemy.
You had Jim Kloss on there?
Yeah, dude.
Wow. Is it on your channel?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good one. And Jane from Obsessed with Pickleball, she's got a good little Instagram channel too. God. And so the three of them were just going at it, and we had some heated moments. So it was fun, man. It was fun. Yeah, I wanted to. I know a lot of people don't like Jim Kloss, so I was like, let me get him on and see who wants to just kind of go at him.
Was this video or voice?
It was video. Yeah,
cool. It's up there. So how was Jim, man?
He was cool. I mean, I think people don't give him enough credit because he has moments where he kind of does know what he's talking about. Sure, it might be with a tone of what some might consider arrogance. I don't always think his opinions are right. I think he gets a lot of stuff wrong too. So whatever. But my thing is then debate him. Tell him why he's wrong. You know, come with your receipts, you know, and they did. And Ben and Jane did a great job of like being like, here's why you're wrong. And so that's really what I wanted to do was like give somebody a platform to like tell this guy, because so many people complain in like other spots and comment on his stuff about how dumb he is and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, if you think he's that bad, let him know. Say it to his face, you know? So whatever. Everybody's got an opinion. I got dumb opinions, you know what I mean? So who am I to judge him for having dumb opinions? You know what I mean? I say some really crazy stuff sometimes. So
wow, that's cool, man. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, for sure. So anyways, go check that out. I'm on X, Sorry Not Sorry PB, short for pickleball, and then definitely Instagram, post a lot on there. Sorry Not Sorry Pickleball. So all the socials there.
Okay. All right, Chris. Thanks, man.
Dude, thank you, man.
To all the viewers, thank you so much. Check out Chris. It'll be in the description below, and we'll see you in the next one.
Woo.